Hey folks, it's Cement once again, and actually had done the review for this, but wanted to redo it because I think I was a bit petered out from Alien 3, so it wasn't that great a review. It was a long one, but now of course this is for Alien Resurrection. Came out in 1997. I think it had like a $70 million budget. It only made 40 some million, so it was pretty decent sized flop. Directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who did City of Lost Children. You have Sigourney Weaver coming back as a clone, fake Ripley. You have Winona Ryder as Call, who you find out is an android. You have what do you call these, space pirates, however you want to call them. The crew called the Betty, where you have Ron Perlman, you have Michael Wincott, you have Dominique Pinon, who's the guy in a wheelchair who I didn't fucking care for. I was hoping he would die, and he didn't, and that sucked. This guy named Gary Dowerton, probably said his name wrong, who's on the original CSI. He's in the film as Christie. Brad Dourif is one of the scientists in the film. Leland Orser from Seven, he's in it as a guy who was a test subject who has a chest burster inside him. Dan Hedaya is sort of a captain of this other ship that they get to, Auriga or something like that, which has a computer that instead of mother, like the first film, it's father. Big stretch. Script by Joss Whedon, who I know he was unhappy with the film, not because they changed a lot, but he said they just did it wrong. He didn't really give much more in detail than that. Oh, they said the lines wrong. They did this wrong. And I still think it's a pretty terrible script. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I don't mind Alien 3. Oh, by the way, I got some in my pocket. It says, fuck Alien 3. Or as someone said, hashtag fuck Alien 3. But, well, it's still not as bad as the fourth one. I think they're equal. No, Alien 3 to me is still the worst. It's still the worst because it was the start of the downfall. It was the reason why you have a film like Alien Resurrection. What do I mean by that? If you Alien 3, where you kill off Hicks and Newt and Bishop, which you could have used those characters in a fourth movie. You kill off Ripley, thus why it's a 200 years later clone Ripley. Instead of just regular Ripley in another story. You could have had Hicks, or Newt, or Bishop, or regular Ripley, but Alien 3 is the reason why you don't have that. Plus, this gives a bigger middle finger, a much bigger middle finger to Aliens. Alien 3 does, not Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection is just the leftover shit from Alien 3. It's still shit, but it's leftover shit from Alien 3. This Alien Resurrection is like the remains of Alien 3 if you try to fucking burn it. And then what's left is, well, the remains that you gotta scrape off the bottom of your fucking shoe. Or I'll put it simply like this. They both suck ass. I'll watch the first and second film. And I remember back in the day when this came out, I was excited for it because it's a new Alien film, and I was like 13 or 14. It still sucks. I mean, 200 years later, there's a clone of Ripley, and these scientists, which are now Weyland-Yutani, they make this clone Ripley, and they bring this chest burster out, and then they becomes an alien queen, and this crew called the Betty comes in with cargo, which are humans, and you find out that the scientists are using these humans so they get face huggers and create more aliens, and then they're stupid enough to put these fucking aliens 3 to a container. I don't know why you wouldn't just, I don't know, breed Why not just breed 2 of them? Or 3 of them? I think they said, what, 12, 13, 14 they bred? Why? Why don't you just breed 1 or 2 of them? Or 3 of them? And put them in 3 separate cells? The reason I say that is because ultimately, I swear these aliens at times act like fucking raptors from Jurassic Park, like they're talking to each other, and 2 of them kill a third ones, and then the acid from that goes through every deck, and all the aliens get loose. There's a lot of problems with this film. I mean, positives. Ron Perlman, he's the asshole of the group, so I can understand why people don't like him, but I still like Ron Perlman. I like some of his lines of dialogue. He gets some badass moments. While there's have that big underwater scene, he shoots a missile and blows up an alien. When the ladder sequence, he goes upside down, shoots, die motherfucker! Shoots an alien in the head, but then it blows up in a shitty effect. I like some of the lines of dialogue when Ripley does the flamethrower against the clones that she finds of herself. He's like, it's a waste of fucking ammo, man. What was the point of that? Must be a chick thing. Or at the end when they're trying to get to Earth and he's a co-pilot. What's cooking? And the other guy says, us. Shit, you're right. Ah! But, I thought Ron Perlman actually played a good asshole. He was supposed to be asshole of the group. I thought he did a good job. I liked him. Despite he's supposed to be an asshole. I didn't mind the guy, Gary Dowerton, who was Christie. But he didn't have much of a character, but there were a couple moments with his guns when they're trying to get out of the after swimming and there's eggs around where they need to go because it's a trap. That somehow the aliens, I guess, are psychic and they knew these people would get there. So I guess the aliens are psychic. But he shoots and he has these bouncing grenades that fuck up the eggs. Or the first time you see his guns, he has the type of guns that come out of his wrist. It's just pew, pew, pew. He even has one that shoots and it bounces and hits the guy in the head. Not really a memorable character, though, because there wasn't much to him. Michael Wincott is cool, because I like Michael Wincott, but he dies pretty early. That's pretty much it. I mean, the score is atrocious. I fucking hate the score of this film. Even Alien 3, which I don't like at all, of course. You already know that. At least I liked Elliot Goldenthal's score. The score to this film is piss poor to high heaven. It's a fucking horrible score. And it's also a forgettable score. I haven't seen the AVP films in a while, and I'll probably watch those. Those will probably be next reviews, those two. But of the main Alien films, this is the worst score. It just, nothing to it. It's piss poorly done, nothing memorable, nothing that I can remember. Jean-Pierre Jeunet as the director, I think he was the wrong choice. I know he did City of Lost Children and other stuff, but he was the wrong choice. He was the wrong pick. And one of the things I hate about this film, not only the story, not only the characters, not only the goofy shit, the fucking newborn, which looked goofy as fuck, but I hate the look in general of this movie. Even the designs of the ships, the photography. I know one of the big effects guys was Petoff. This is the same motherfucker who would go on to direct Catwoman. I hate the look of it. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if it's the designs of the ships, the effects work. I mean, for a $70 million film, it looks cheap to me. It looks cheap. Maybe that's because of that budget, like 17 million went to Sigourney Weaver. Alien 3 is the last one. I don't want to do anymore. Kill me off. Wait, my career is dead? And a friend of mine told me after I was talking about Alien 3, And he's like, you know that in '94, there's like a poster of a movie she did called Death of the Maniac, and she has a gun on the poster, or at least one of the covers of that film. I'm like, really? Go figure. But she hates guns. But well, when it deals with aliens, she hates guns. If it deals with people, she's okay. Just backwards logic for me. And also, kill me off, kill me off. And then what was this? Just a couple years later? Because if it was released in 97, they probably started working on it around 96. Just a few years later, oh, my career's dead. I did to be a producer and I did $17 million. Okay, sign me up. But, okay, the look of the film, I fucking hate. The costumes look like shit. I hate the look of the costumes. I hate the look of the photography. Not everything, but a lot of stuff looks brown as well. Like brown, like it's made of shit. There's a scene where Brad Dourif is cocooned at the end, and it literally looks like the whole crew took their fucking pants down, took a collective dump, and put it on the fucking walls. All over Brad Dourif. And at times, I swear, there are times where I looked at the xenomorphs and they look brown as shit. There are times I looked at the queen, especially at the end where she has her womb. It looks brown as shit. I'm like, it looks like brown. And also the look of the aliens, the practical effects are well done. But you really see in this, they lose that. What's great about Alien and Aliens, they still have that biomechanical feel and look to it. It's like, where does the metal, is there metal there? The teeth, especially when you look at the alien queen, you just see that. It's like, what the fuck? Holy shit. I mean, you look at this, and you go, oh shit. But you really lose a lot of the biomechanical in this. It's just when they're dripping, it looks like they're pissing out of their fucking mouth, the xenomorphs. At times they interact like they're fucking raptors. Even to the point, there's a scene where previously Brad Dourif had one in a containment, and he had this thing which I guess is very cold to try to tame them. When they get out, a soldier goes in that room, and the xenomorph doesn't attack him, doesn't kill him with his jaw or anything. It goes to the fucking button that Brad Dourif hit, and uses his jaw to hit the button to freeze the guy. And I went, what? Like, it's trying to be different. I thought that was really stupid, really lame, and definitely didn't follow the logic of the other Alien films. At least in my opinion. But the look of the film, I think it looks cheap for a $70 million film. Hell, The Fifth Element came out the same year. That cost, what, $90 million? And that looks double the budget that it had. The Fifth Element looks gorgeous. Looks awesome, The Fifth Element. This doesn't. I mean, I've seen low-budget movies look better than this. For fuck's sake. I've seen low-budget sci-fi films look better than this. I just didn't like the photography. I didn't like the designs of the ships and the designs of the newborn and the designs of the costumes and the everything looks fucking brown. I don't know if they did something with the color timing. I don't know what it is. Just looked awful to me. I hate fake Ripley. 200 years later, she gets cloned. It's fake Ripley. And of course, you know, she's acting more like an alien because she's part human, part alien. She's part enemy. I get that's the point of the movie, that should I trust this person? Should I not? I don't give a fuck. I don't like her at all. I don't care if she fucking dies. She gets burned. She gets raped by a fucking alien. She gets raped by a fucking vacuum cleaner. She gets raped by fucking Winona Ryder. I don't give a fuck what happens to this girl because you don't have emotional attachment to her because it's not the character from the first 3 movies. Sigourney Weaver might as well just came in and played a different character named Jean or Charlotte or Janine or fucking Charlize or fucking Amanda or fucking actually that was the name of her daughter, I think, in the special edition of Aliens. But might as well be a different character. I mean, that's the point, is that she's not going to be the same. And you're not supposed to trust her throughout. And even by the end, I don't give a fuck about her. I don't care. I didn't care for her acting performance. I didn't care to see her part alien shtick. And her dialogue, it was like what was it? There was an old interview with Sigourney Weaver where she talks about how, you know, people have a problem writing for Ripley because they make her seem like too macho and cursing. Well, that's the script that seems like in this. You know, you want a souvenir when she grabs Ron Perlman's tongue. Who'd have to fuck to get off this boat? Fuck yourself! Although I do like Ron Perlman. Oh, I'll get you off. I don't know about the boat, but... See, I like Ron Perlman. But I just liked him as an actor. Maybe that's why, too. But... Sigourney Weaver, didn't like her for performance, didn't like her quirkiness. Again, you're not supposed to trust her that much. Even to a point in the underwater scene, one of the people get taken and dragged, and then Sigourney Weaver's, she just doesn't do anything to help. She just looks and goes. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck this bitch. Let her die. So there's no reason to care about her. I'm like, you're fake, you're phony, you're fraud. Fuck off, fake Ripley. Winona Ryder, I thought she was terrible. I thought she was badly miscast. Or I should say badly out of place. She just felt so out of place in this movie. Granted, I'm not the biggest Winona Ryder fan, but she just felt so out of place and really, at the end of the day, pretty fucking useless. She didn't need to be in this film. Yeah, I mean, she's the catalyst to, well, she knew what was going on, so she wanted to try to kill Ripley, and oh, it's already too late. But yeah, you could have just had one of the characters, they want to steal something, or they want to, what kind of cargo they got on this bitch ship? And then they see Ripley, and they go, what the fuck's going on? And then they get caught. Could just easily been that. You didn't need Winona Ryder. You didn't need her character. Nothing to like about her. But that was a piss poor performance. Fuck that. Fuck Call. No one gives a shit about Call. Call a cab to get your ass out of town and out of the fucking flick, Winona Ryder. Go steal something instead of stealing spotlights in this movie. Dominique Pinon as the guy in the wheelchair of Reese, hated him. That was annoying. That was irritating. That was aggravating. I was waiting for him to die. There's a scene where the alien's on top and puts the acid in his ear because it drips down. I was waiting to drip down his fucking face. But unfortunately, he lives. That sucks. I said Gary Dowden as Christy, the black guy of the group. He didn't have much of a character. I just liked that he had a couple cool scenes, but they didn't really do much with his character. It's not much of a character at all. Ronald Perlman I liked, even though he's supposed to be the asshole. And the other characters, there's really nothing to them. You have the sort of the human villain, the lead scientist, who's an asshole. You have this soldier guy that he's just there so he could get his head crushed by the newborn at the end. Leland Orser, he's just there so that you have a scene where he takes the asshole scientist's head and the chest burster goes through the asshole's head. That's all he's there for. So the characters pretty much suck ass for the most part. The musical score is atrocious. The look of the film is fucking off and whacked, and I hate looking at it. That's the thing. It's one of the ugliest movies I've seen in a while. It's an ugly movie to look at, just photography-wise, color-wise. I don't know what it is. Just, yeah. Jean-Pierre Jeunet, again, I think he was the wrong choice. Just weird shit, just there for the sake of weird. When they've cloned her and taken the chest burster, she's in the pit, and for some reason she has this cheesecloth spider's web shit that she crawls out of, like I'm a newborn. Why? Even though she was on the table, didn't have that shit on her. Why she was in that? What, did someone take her out? Here's some spider's web cheesecloth, put her on there. Is that what blankets are in this future? What the fuck? Or in order to get indoors, you breathe on it. Yeah, it smells like shit. Good for you. The death scenes were over the top, gory, like they tried to do Peter Jackson. I swear one of the directors they tried to do was either Peter Jackson or Guillermo del Toro, one or the other, and they turned it down, which I don't blame them. But they tried to do over the top gore. Danadea gets the back of his head hit, and he picks out a piece of his brain, which I thought was stupid. There's a scene at the end where Leland Orser, who has a chest burster, he gets shot like 10 fucking times, but still doesn't go down for some reason, even though you see a couple bullets in the chest. I'm like, it's a chest burster. I think you hit the fucking thing. And then grabs it. And then the camera goes down Leland Orser's throat. And it gets to like here, and I swear you see the chest burster coming out. I'm like, is it going to come out of his mouth? No, even though it looks like it's going to come out here, it still comes out of the guy's chest. I'm like, it's ready to go up his throat. Like, the way it looks, it's in his throat. Did it backtrack? Say, oh shit, that's right, I'm a chest burster. Go back down his throat and go out the guy's head? Okay. Gory practical effect, I'll give you that. But it almost felt like this movie was trying to rely on that because it had nothing else going for it. Like I said, the soldier guy gets his head crushed by the newborn. Brad Dourif gets his head bit off by the newborn. I will admit, it's probably the goriest of the Alien films. And I love gore. I love gore. Doesn't save a movie, and in this movie, felt kind of out of place. It did. Felt like something would be an Alien ripoff, man. Because the other Alien films, the gore is more realistic type of gore. Here is like trying to be over the top and shocking. And again, I love gore in a lot of movies. Just, it doesn't fit in this series. Gore fits, as in being violent, but maybe if it was a better movie, I would have given a shit too. What else? Didn't care for the cast for the most part, or the acting for the most part. The score, over the top gore, and it trying to be funny. Its humor wasn't really that funny. The look of the aliens themselves, at times they look brown like shit. It looks like the whole fucking set's covered in shit. Hate the look of the film. Certain scenes, the basketball scene, okay. She hit someone with a basketball, and then she went behind her back and hit a basket. I guess that was worth the $17 million you paid her. The underwater scene, considering all the trouble they went into shooting that, it's not that impressive of a scene. They swim a bit, Ron Perlman shoots one, the girl gets dragged, and then they try to get up to the top. And then Sigourney Weaver gets a face hugger on her and she pulls it out. That's it. So 3 things. They shoot one. Well, Ron Perlman shoots one with his, it looks like a missile. I like that shot. You have some pretty dodgy CGI, though. That's another thing. You have some pretty dodgy CGI of the aliens. When it's practical, it looks good. When it's CGI, it looks really dodgy, even for 1997. I'm sorry. Again, Fifth Element came out the same year. That was pretty damn good effects. Trying to think. That's all that really happened in the underwater scene. Those three things. She gets the face hugger on her at the end of it. And then you had the ladder scene, which is a decent scene. Even though, again, you get some dodgy CGI, but then you get some practical alien effects as well. Ron Perlman gets his badass moment. For some reason, I never understood this. The Christie character gets acid on his face. I will admit, he looks fucked up, but he looks alive. And the alien is dead, but it's hanging just from his foot like this. I'm like, you just take the other foot and do that. Or he falls down with it, and it doesn't even look like that much of a fall, height-wise. Why couldn't he just swim back up? But then it's a self-sacrifice moment. I'm like, it didn't even look like he fell that far. He didn't fall that far. It didn't look like it. If it is, it wasn't shot properly. Why the fuck didn't he just swim up? Why the fuck didn't someone go down there, help him up, and go back up? It was such a lame death. I'm like, why is this guy dead? I understand he's got acid on his face, but he's still moving. And when he went down, I mean, why is this a self-sacrifice? I don't understand that. Never did. They find out she's an android, calls an android. God, I'm trying to think what else happened in this movie. It's a pretty forgettable film, forgettable entry, for good reason. And God, what the hell else happened after that? Yeah, Michael Wincott dies pretty early on. And that sucked, because Michael Wincott's cool. I liked him as an actor. But it's like the movie knew that. Oh, he's cool. Fuck that. Kill him. Kill him as early as you can. And pretty much Ripley stops and is straddling the fucking grates. And then you have the, again, just weird for weird's sake, the sea of aliens or whatever the hell it is. And she's just fondling it or whatever. Just lying there. Just carried over to the alien queen. And Brad Dourif won't shut the fuck up. And I love Brad Dourif, but he had nothing to do in this movie. Except that one stupid scene early on where he's trying to, I guess, communicate with the alien. So he's doing like up against the glass and he's doing this. I'm like, the fuck is that? It's stupid. Fucking stupid. And then at the end, he won't shut the fuck up. And this is when he's covered in shit. Bullshit, dog shit, take your pick. And then the newborn comes out. And it's a fucking ugly design. Albino chupacabra looking fuckface. A chupacabra looking motherfucker bites Brad Dourif's head. And then Sigourney Weaver gets a head start, gets out of there, and it's funny. She gets a head start. She's running full speed. She knows where she's going. She even has to make a fucking Stallone cliffhanger jump to the ship. And yet somehow, the newborn, even though she was running full speed and had a head start and did a, long jump, somehow the newborn got there just like that. Kills the soldier guy, fucking up Winona Ryder. She's a useless fucking character. And then fake Ripley says stop, cuts herself, hits the window. Once again, an alien goes out into space. Only this time is much more bloodier fashion because its guts have fallen out and it gets sucked out. And I remember hearing that they wanted a ditch vagina on this thing. But looking at some of the features, I think what happened was it was supposed to be like the umbilical cord or guts or something, like the umbilical cord. but the way it was shot, it looked like a fucking dick. But I think it was supposed to like an umbilical cord or something from it. But again, the way they shot it looked like a dick. He's like, wait. Even the director's like, what the hell is that? So they had to CGI it in post. But what the hell? Okay, it's gory how it dies. This when it's the shot in space, it's CGI. But again, gore doesn't save a movie. There's some good gore stuff in the other films. Chestburster and Alien doesn't save a movie though. Put in a better movie. I don't know. The story doesn't work. I don't care about fake Ripley. I don't care about her plight. I don't care about her scene where she sees all her fake clones till she's the 8th clone. These others were failed ones, and she cries, and I don't care. You want to know what did that better? Which, I mean, granted, technically you saw in 2003 the first time when the director's cut. Alien. The cut scene in Alien. She finds Dallas and Brett being turned into eggs. She has a flamethrower. She has that same expression she has in this scene. And then with a flamethrower. That was done better in that than in this fucking scene in Resurrection. And that's the thing. I'm watching it today. I'm like, that just reminds me of that cut scene in Alien. Same thing. Oh my god, same look, same tears in her eyes, flamethrower action. And yeah, that's where you get the line that I do like from Ron Perlman. Fucking waste of ammo. Don't get the big deal. But because I don't like fake Ripley, I'm trying on Ron Perlman's side. What the fuck else can I say about this movie? It's a lame sequel. It didn't really bring anything new to the table other than the stupid newborn. Even the aliens themselves, they looked less biomechanical or more whatever. And just the look of the film is shit. And it looks like it's covered in shit. And there's a lot of brown, and at times the aliens look brown like shit. The underwater scene, considering all the time they put into it, is pretty overrated. It's like, you shouldn't have put that much time into this. It's not much of a scene. Oh, some CGI aliens swimming underwater for less than a minute. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Like 3 things happened during that whole fucking scene. The ladder scene was decent. Ron Perlman was a badass. But it's not much action. Not much happening. Hell, your first action scene is a fucking basketball sequence. Yeah, I watch alien movies for that. And you don't have a story. That's why you're waiting for action scenes. You don't have a story. Okay, fake Ripley. I don't give a fuck about her plight. Call Winona Ryder, the android. Fuck her. Enter all her circuits. The other cast, not much of a worth of shit. The humor, not really that funny. Over the top gore feels out of place. The movie itself looks cheap for a big budget $70 million film. The store, fucking pathetic. Bad store. It's a bad call, Ripley. Bad call. There's nothing to this movie. I mean, other than Ron Perlman. I had some fun with Ron Perlman. Michael Wincott was cool for the little bit he had. Gary Dowden, I like some of the stuff with his guns that bounce, the bullets that bounce. Not much else to it than that. It's not much of a movie. So yeah, Alien Resurrection did not resurrect the franchise. Which I wonder if that was their intention. 20th Century Fuckface. I still say Alien 3 is worse because if you didn't kill off Hicks and Newt and Bishop, then maybe you could have used them for a 4th movie. Like I said in my rant on Alien 3. But you fucked up. You could have had a grown-up Newt, or you could have had older Hicks, or you could have had all sorts of stuff. But yeah, the plot they used was lame. Just a bunch of characters, most of them we don't care about, going from A to B. And again, the only scenes I remember is the ladder scene and the underwater scene, and they're like back to back. I don't remember anything else. Pretty boring movie as well. Alien Resurrection is a pretty boring flick. Not that exciting, not that entertaining, not that thrilling. Definitely not scary or suspenseful. Not much of a story. And fuck fake Ripley. She's a fake, phony, fraud. Don't give a fuck. Hate her character. No reason to like her. That's kind of half the reason. Half the point. But it's a shitty point to make. In the first place. Should not have been the case. And because that's the case, is because of Alien 3. Hashtag fuck Alien 3. And I'll put it, fuck Alien Resurrection as well. They both can suck equal amounts of dick. Alien 3 sucks a bit more dick because it's more of a slut. But I just watched the first two movies. So thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.